Welcome into the Inside Indiana Report. I'm Editor-in-Chief Ken Bikoff, along with publisher Ed Magoni, and me and Ed are kind of knee-deep in our basketball yearbook, so there's not going to be an Inside Indiana show this week, but we wanted to also still talk about Indiana's game versus Iowa last week and their upcoming game against Northwestern. And Ed, I wanted to start with that Iowa game, just talking a little bit about Tre Roberson, which has been the story everybody's been talking about. You know, Tre looked good. He wasn't great. He wasn't the second coming of Antoine Randall just yet, but your thoughts on how he played and how much that's going to help the Hoosiers going forward?
What I was really impressed with was his poise in a road environment. I think for a freshman to go in there into Iowa in front of 80,000 fans and a hungry Iowa team and to play that way was just very impressive to me. Yes, he's not the second coming of Antoine Randall. Maybe he doesn't have the moves that Antoine Randall had, but certainly he was able to move the offense pretty effectively, and if the defense could have gotten a couple of stops early, who knows what might have happened.
Now, Coach Kevin Wilson said that he isn't really preparing to start the 2012 season, but he did admit that it's a situation where they're going to continue to play young guys and build for the future. Now, with the homecoming game against Northwestern coming up, you're going to continue to see those young guys. What kind of challenges does Northwestern present, especially for a team that's on a 5-game skid?
Well, Northwestern's on a 4-game skid, so it's not, in the Big Ten, so it's not really that big of a difference. I think Indiana has to look at this as an opportunity to play a winnable game, and they need to get in front of the home crowd and take advantage of it. I think they can win this week.
Now, Indiana's defense, I think, is going to be a huge key in this one, as it is every week. They really haven't shown up the past couple of weeks, and that has really taken a lot of the steam out of what the Hoosiers were doing. And we could talk about Tre Roberson until we're blue in the face. If they don't stop anybody, Indiana's going to struggle no matter who they play. That's
absolutely true, Ken. I mean, there's no question about that. The IU defense they didn't stop Iowa, they didn't stop Wisconsin, and Northwestern's offense is just as possible. It's just as effective offensively as either one of those units are. So it's going to be tough. They like Coach Mallory said earlier this week. He said that that they need to stop the run first, and obviously when they use their dual threat quarterbacks, Persa can run and Coulter can run. So they need to get in front of them and make sure they contain them. Don't break down on third down and allow them to scramble around and get first downs that way, because Northwestern converts almost 50% of the time on third down, which is just remarkable.
Since our last Inside Indiana show, of course, the Hoosiers lost the commitment of Columbus East quarterback Gunnar Kiel, who decided to reopen his recruitment. The impact of that, I think, personally for me, Ed, is it hurts for IU fans. It certainly hurts for that glimmer of hope, and yet it's hard to miss what you never had. And I think that's something that should be interesting going forward, especially at least the play of Tre Roberson did temper a little bit of that pain over the weekend.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ken. I think if they had come out and gotten smoked by Iowa, showed no offensive punch at all, then it would be a lot worse. But now the team kind of knows what direction it's heading in. Tre Roberson seems like the future. And knowing the future is actually kind of helpful. Instead of having Gunnar come in next year, maybe he can grasp the offense quickly, maybe he can't, who knows. Won't have any experience. You're starting another inexperienced quarterback like they did this season. So maybe, Tre Roberson gets 4 or 5 starts here under his belt, and he goes into the next season with all kinds of confidence. The team feels good about him, and maybe the Hoosiers can take off next season.
Well, it's going to be a big week here in Bloomington. Certainly you have homecoming week all week, homecoming game against Northwestern. After the homecoming game, you have the Haunted Hall of Hoops over at Assembly Hall, where Tom Crean's group is going. And plus, if you're an Inside Indiana Magazine subscriber, you should have an issue showing up in your mailbox for our October issue. So it's a big week, but for hopefully isn't one of the last nice days here in Bloomington for the fall. For Ed Magoni, I'm Ken Bikoff. Thanks for watching.